Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about the options that O1 visa holders have to transition to a green card in the United States. Mainly going to focus on them transitioning to a green card through the EB-1A or Extraordinary Ability Visa or the EB-2C, otherwise known as a National Interest Waiver. My name is Yalda Hajavi, and I focus my practice primarily on employment-based immigration and family-based immigration. So very briefly, the O1 visa is granted to foreign nationals that show extraordinary ability in education, sciences, arts, business, and music, and so forth. Those are just some of the categories. These foreign nationals receive a O1 visa when an employer in the United States petitions for them and they meet 3 out of the 10 regulatory criteria or show a one-time achievement in their field, so such as a Nobel Prize or an Olympic medal. The O1 visa is a non-immigrant visa, meaning that the foreign national comes to the United States temporarily to pursue their field or work at this particular company, entertainment company, institution, and so forth, with the intention to leaving the United States once their O1 visa duration expires. More often than not, foreign national that enters on the O1 comes to the United States and then decides, well, I actually want to stay here, either because of employment reasons or personal reasons, or maybe they can't go back to their home country because their country is at war. There's a lot of factors that go into play. So in order to help them stay in the United States, we need to file for a green card. The most common transition from the O1 is to get a EB-1A visa. The O1 visa is very similar to the EB-1A visa, except that the EB-1A category has 10 regulatory criterion, while the O1 has 8. And EB-1A is a green card, so it's a little bit harder to get. But essentially, a person that gets an O1 is typically going to be extraordinary enough to qualify for the EB-1A green card. To get an EB-1A visa, the foreign national can self-petition for their green card, meaning that they actually don't need an employer, unlike the O1, and they need to have a record of one-time achievements, such as a Nobel Prize or Olympic medal, or meet 3 out of the 10 regulatory criteria. Doing an O1 to an EB-1 is actually fairly easy because, and I've done this in the past, the reason for that is a lot of the letters that were used in the O1 can be reworked to be used in the EB-1 petition. A lot of the documents that were submitted in the O1 can be reworked and maybe added to or also just included as is in the EB-1 green card case. For a national interest waiver, that's under the second preference category, meaning that it's a little bit easier to get than the EB-1A. People that are here on an O1 whose work is somehow tied to the national interests of the United States, meaning that it furthers the US's infrastructure in some way, culture, economy, national security, and so forth, can apply for a NIW. It's a little bit easier to get because the foreign national doesn't need to have all these documents and achievements for the NIW. It's that, but at a lower degree and more about the type of field and work that the foreign national is involved in. So let's say the foreign national is working at a company in the United States on an O1 that is doing cancer research. Well, they're going to qualify for a NIW more often than not. Let's say they're in the United States doing work related to something about the boosting the economy and predicting inflation rates. Can also typically apply for the NIW. In determining which one the foreign national qualifies for, the EB-1A or the NIW, based on their O1, you really want to look at the quality of the application that was filed for the O1. If they had a really strong O1 case, go for the EB-1A. They had a weak O1 case, but somehow you think it got approved, maybe NIW is a better option. But of course, everything is case by case. We're also dealing with the visa bulletin, which determines how many green cards are actually available each year, and the EB-1A category tends to be current for most countries, whereas EB-2 category is not. So you also want to take a look at that in determining which preference category fits your client's needs in the best way. So I hope that was helpful in summarizing an O1 visa and transitioning to a green card. Thank you.